So here we go. Today we're back on Lily, the Volvo 240. Some maintenance that should have been done when I bought the car really 2 years ago. Fuel system. Also, the main reason why I'm doing this, to be honest, is because we've got a bit of a noisy in-tank pump. And today the trunk has decided it doesn't want to stay up all the way. I'm sure it was fine before today, and now it wants to sit low. So definitely going to catch my head on that. But let's have a look then. So behind this cover, behind this mat, we've got the sender underneath there, and I did take the cover off the other day, and here's how that went. Rusty, I knew it. I mean, the car generally is in quite good shape, but I've heard enough about these things to know that top of the fuel tank, there's usually trouble waiting for you. So yeah, it's a bit grim, isn't it? Glad I'm doing this though, because how much longer do these lines left have anyway? With this rust, I definitely needed to treat it. You're probably quite surprised not to see a load of fluid film there, but just never got to the top part of the tank before. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be fun, isn't it? Trying to sort that out. Just throughout the course of this job, I'm kind of hoping that we don't reach a point where we have to take the tank out. But it's definitely a possibility, isn't it? So I just gave it a quick spray down with some compressed air just to get rid of the loose debris, and now I'm just going to saturate everything in penetrating fluid to give myself a fighting chance. And I'll let that soak. The good thing is, of course, because this trunk is so big, I could quite happily sit in here all day, so we can just take our time. Let's have a look. A load of stuff on there again. We've got to get these lines off. They don't give you much space to work, do they? So just push that clip back. They don't really, you can't really get on anything. Oh, there we go. That was easy. I'm just grabbing it with the grips, to be honest. And then just twisting it off. If it's that rusty, it'll just break, like so. Once it's that rusty, try and push this off. There we go, that's off. So we've got a big one and a small one, so we won't be able to get those mixed up, which is good. Yeah, and so now we're ready to have a go on this lock ring. I've never done this before, I have to say. I want to just put that out there. Yeah, so yeah, let's try and tap this lock ring around. I assume it's anti-clockwise. There it is. Okay, that's released, quite surprisingly actually. I need to get back in there with the compressed air and just blow out, because there's a lot of debris now that's come free. So it's all ready and waiting to fall into the tank. Now we might have to drop the tank anyway, because it might look really terrible in the bottom. When we take the sender out, we'll have a good look inside, and if it's bad in there, really we should drain the tank at least, and then see if we can maybe clean it. But Bells of doom. Try not to spill any stuff. In the tank. Looks almost too big to clear it. Okay, there we go. Oh, they really made it tight, didn't they? Fucking hell, that is literally... How on earth do you do this? This is horrendous. They definitely did a better job with the 740. It won't come out. That ball that's there, that float ball, I don't see how that's going to come out as well as everything else. It's a bit ridiculous, the bells, isn't it? It doesn't, the chime every 15 minutes and then the long chimes on the hour. It's like, okay, fair enough. But this that they do multiple times a day, where they just ring and ring and ring for so long, yeah, it's a bit excessive, isn't it? Really, I find it's a bit overkill. So what happens here then? I wonder if we have to disconnect anything in situ. I mean, I don't know how this is supposed to all fit through this hole now. Okay, I've pulled out the pump and the sock. There we go. Yeah, but you have to push and pull and tug on it, which is properly risky business. Oh well, it's out. Complete as well. It looks a bit weird here on camera, but to the eye it looks clean actually. And it looks like the surface where it's like rough, it is just like a rough surface. Like it's not loose pieces, but it's actually just like the surface of the tank, like a little bit of corrosion or whatever, but nothing. To be honest, I think it looks okay. I think there's a couple of bits in there, but nothing much. And the sock on the pump, as long as it's on there, is the important thing, and it doesn't come off when we install it. The sock is there to obviously not let any of that past. I've just bought a new sender unit complete, and I don't think I really need to. But it was about 80 or 90 euros. Now the pump alone is 40, so I thought, wow, for double up and you get actually the whole sender. I was surprised that this was even available, that I could get it. Maybe there's a bit of a hole on the bottom there. Yeah, it's starting to go, isn't it? So it's a little bit dark in here. It's a bit of a gloomy and rainy day. But we've got the new filter, or the new pump here, new sender. So we've got a small bump in the road. It's the 105mm length pump. This one's 112. I'm just going to try it. It would be nicer to fit the correct pump, but if we're only talking about 7mm, perhaps we can make it work. Yeah, it's literally just 7mm off the top. So here's the old pump, so you can hear how it sounds. So there we go. This still allows some movement. Really is getting dark now. It still allows that, if that's what it's supposed to have. But this tube here on the sending housing itself, on the unit itself, it finishes quite a bit after that part. It's quite further down. I don't know where, but somewhere in there. So yeah, it should be further down, but as you can see. So there we go. We've got everything on. We've got the sock pointing that direction there, which I think that was how the old one was. Let's see if we can get this thing in. This is now the hard part. Oh, yeah, I can't fit my hand in the thing, so if you drop the sock, it's over. Hopefully the magnetic ring on it, you could pick it up with a magnet, but I literally could not fit my hand in there, which is just crazy. I think it really needs to go in this way. Oh, fucking hell, both at the same time. Yeah, that's really difficult. It really feels like that is not going to work. So yeah, I didn't catch it because I've been here for ages, as you can tell. My phone is auto adjusting to make that sky look a lot brighter than it actually is. I can't really see. Yeah, it took ages and it's really terrible. It's such a bad design. Those of you who've done this before are probably chuckling away. It is horrendous because there really isn't enough room, and trying to get it in without, like, obviously you've got to make sure that ball doesn't pop off, the float ball. It's only just clipped in there. If that back pops off, and it's happened to loads of people, you've had it basically. You can't get that back. You've got to buy another one and keep trying, and then live with an annoying rattling sound in the tank of the float ball hitting the metal tank. Yeah, I mean, the sock takes a real beating. I mean, of course it needs to be on tight anyway, but so you kind of put the ball in first with this at the same time, and then you kind of squeeze the filter in after it. So yeah, it's kind of like ball, tube, filter, sock and pump, all in that order, but all kind of together at the same time as well. You kind of put them in, fuck it. The chiming every 15 minutes and then every hour the big countdown is I can live with it, but this bing 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 for like it goes on for about 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime, but it's like twice an hour. So with your bells every 15, and you never get more than like 5 minutes it seems, or 10 minutes without bells. It's so much. Anyway, I can see that the sock is still on and the float is still there, so happy days. So I'll put the seal there first, and then it locks in. Oof, that was bullshit. See what I mean? Now it's 1840. The last one I just mentioned was 1820, and then they did it at 1810. So it's like every 10-20 minutes. They won't quit it. Anyway, so yeah, I covered the ring in a load of grease. I suppose we've got to be a little bit conscious of the sealer. It's bollocks. It's fucking bollocks. So it's another day and we're going to continue on. First thing I need to do now before we go any further is test that the in-tank pump is actually working. So we've got fuse number 4 here, so I've removed that. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump fuse 4 and fuse 6, and we'll do it the one way. It's going to run the pump under the car, the main pump, and the other way is going to run the in-tank pump. If we jump the left side, both left sides of 4 and 6, so you could hear the main pump running there. So if we do it on the other side, like this, I'm going to plug the multimeter and make sure that we've got power. Actually, we can plug it in, can't we? We'll plug it in and we'll see if this runs here. So that's the power to the pump, the black one, weirdly. And we saw that on the sender itself. And then the ground for the pump, it grounds itself to the sender. This white wire here, or grey, is for the sending unit itself, like the level. And this is the earth for the sender, I believe. But we'll check that now, because if this runs with that earth disconnected, then we know that the pump is earthed, of course. So which I'm pretty sure is the case. So let me jump those fuses and we'll see if we can hear anything. I didn't hear the pump, but I heard the fuel go everywhere. So at least that's working now. All I need to do now is get the hoses back on their new Jubilee clamps. I'm going to clean up this tank a little bit more, get the excess rust off. I'm going to fluid film it. I think one day in the not too distant future, we're going to have to take the tank down, aren't we, I think, and do something a bit more thorough, because I won't be able to get everything. But I've had a look further that way and all different directions, and it actually looks quite okay. This top part seems to be really bad, but the rest of it's not so bad. So, but yeah, we'll cover it in fluid film and that'll sort it out for a bit. Took it for a quick spin up the road. Didn't go far because it's raining, but yeah, she runs really nice. She's still got a little bit of hesitation. I thought maybe there's a chance that it's the in-tank pump because it was so loud. Maybe it's not working very well. Maybe it's a bit blocked or something like that, but obviously that's not it. So the hesitation seems worse when it's cold. Next up, I've got to do the main pump, but more importantly, I've got to do the fuel filter because maybe that is slightly blocked. We saw that sock on the in-tank pump was starting to deteriorate a little bit, so maybe some bits got through. I don't know, and the filter's probably quite old as well, so we'll do it anyway because we don't know how long it's been on there. It looks a little bit old and rusty, so obviously it's a service thing anyway, it's maintenance anyway, isn't it? And hopefully it'll fix the issue. But yeah, if not, obviously we're gonna have to go a little bit further into it and see what the problem might be. It's an LH 2.2 car, so there's no onboard diagnostics whatsoever, so you literally have to go around and test every sensor to see what the problem might be. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching.